An endpoint alert lands at 2:13 a.m. It lists a destination IP, a domain, and a file hash. The analyst opens 5 tabs, copies values, waits on portals, and still has a half-built picture. Now imagine the same alert opens with ASN, country, domain age, first SIEM date, malware family tags, confidence, source feed, and last lookup time. One screen, one decision path. That is threat intelligence enrichment done right. Threat intelligence enrichment is the process of adding outside context to security events before or during triage. In a SIEM, that usually means automatic lookups for IP addresses, domains, URLs, file hashes, email senders, certificate details, and other observables. A NIST-style way to frame it is simple. Use cyber threat information to support detection, analysis, and response. The key word is support. Enrichment does not replace analyst judgment. It gives the analyst facts that would otherwise require manual research. A beginner should remember this. Enrichment turns a raw alert into an alert with evidence attached. Life before enrichment is slow and uneven. One analyst checks domain age, another checks only reputation, a third skips the hash lookup because the queue is full. The same alert can get 3 different outcomes depending on who is on shift and how much time they have. Bare alerts also hide patterns. A single IP might look boring until you see it belongs to a provider rarely used by your business and appeared in 3 recent phishing cases. Enrichment standardizes the first layer of research. It removes copy-paste work, reduces swivel chair analysis, and lets triage start with context instead of blank fields. Here is the basic flow. First, the SIEM or pipeline parses incoming events and extracts observables: IPs, domains, hashes, URLs, user agents, email addresses, and file names. Second, enrichment rules decide which values deserve lookups. Third, the pipeline queries approved threat intelligence sources, asset data, identity data, and internal case history. Fourth, results are cached, so the same IP does not burn an API call every time it appears. Rate limits matter. If your provider allows a fixed number of requests per minute, design for it. Fifth, the enriched fields are written back into the event or alert: source, confidence, timestamp, category, first seen, last seen, and related cases. The analyst sees the context immediately. A SOC receives a sign-in alert for a finance user. The raw event shows a successful login from an unfamiliar IP and a password reset request 10 minutes earlier. Enrichment adds the IP's ASN, rough location, hosting category, and whether the business has seen it before. It also checks the reset email domain and shows the domain was registered last week, has no normal business history, and appears in 2 low-volume phishing reports. The alert links to one internal case from yesterday with the same domain pattern. That is enough for a verdict-ready triage screen: unusual identity event, suspicious infrastructure context, recent internal similarity, and clear escalation notes. The analyst does not need 5 tabs to justify action. The strength of enrichment is speed with consistency. It gives every analyst the same starting facts. But do not worship a reputation score. Context beats a bare score every time. A score of 80 means little without source, age, category, confidence, and why it was scored. Feed quality beats feed quantity. 10 noisy feeds can make triage worse. 1 accurate, timely feed mapped to your environment can save hours. Enrichment also does not prove intent. An IP tagged as risky may host mixed traffic. A clean hash may still deserve review if behavior is suspicious. Treat enrichment as evidence, not a verdict generator. In the defensive stack, enrichment usually sits inside the SIEM pipeline and case workflow. The SIEM collects events, extracts observables, enriches them, and raises better alerts. A SOAR workflow can use the same context to open tickets, request review, or add containment recommendations. UEBA benefits because enriched signals make behavior analytics more meaningful. A login from a new location is one signal. A login from a new location plus hosting provider context plus first seen domain activity is stronger. Endpoint, email, cloud, and network tools also feed the process. The goal is not another dashboard. The goal is one investigation view that explains why the alert matters. Start with the alerts that burn the most analyst time. Phishing, suspicious logins, endpoint malware alerts, and outbound connection alerts are common first choices. List the observables in those alerts. Then, choose a small set of feeds that answer real triage questions. For each feed, define the fields you will keep. category, confidence, first SIEM, last SIEM, source, and lookup time. Build caching from day one. Document API limits and failure behavior. If the lookup fails, the alert should still arrive with a clear missing enrichment flag. Train analysts to read context, not just colors. Then measure median triage time before and after enrichment. Recap in 3 beats. First, threat intelligence enrichment adds IP, hash, domain, and URL context at ingest or alert creation, so analysts start with evidence. Second, context beats a bare reputation score. Source, confidence, age, category, and internal history are what make the data useful. Third, prove value with measurement. If triage time does not drop, tune the feeds, fields, or workflow. Keep feed count small and quality high. Cache lookups and respect RAID limits. If this helped, subscribe. A new Security Tools Decoded episode drops daily, along with the daily ranked CVE brief on this channel.